friends, I'm Morgan, the Nerdy Cowgirl, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over my TBR for the rest of 2025. Okay, so I figured that I would go ahead and go over my TBR for the year of 2025. My reading goal for this year is 50 books, which I almost met last year, but was one short. So last year I read 49 books. My goal was 30, so I surpassed my goal last year and read almost 50 books. So that's what makes me think that this year I can read a total of 50 books. Be sure to check out that video. I'll post that in the cards and down in the description. Like I said, my goal for this year is 50 books, and with the books that I want to read, I think I will hit that goal. So right now I'm in the middle of the Shadow and Bone series. I'm on the second book of the Shadow and Bone series, which I'm including the Six of Crows duology as well. So that alone is 5 books on its own. So my sister-in-law lent me her Shadow and Bone series, so that's 3 books. And my library has the Six of Crows duology. So I think that I will check out the Six of Crows because I definitely want to read that one. That one is the one that I've heard more people like I've heard people like Shadow and Bone, but I've heard Six of Crows is most people's favorite. So I definitely want to read that this year. I also want to finish my 24 book challenge. In my book journal, there was a challenge at the back, and it gave prompts for books to read. And so I have slowly been filling it in, and I am down to my last 2. And so I hope to finish those this year and come out with that video later. So be looking for this video to come. I also have a lot of physical books in my TBR, and I will show you guys those really quick. Okay, so here is my physical TBR. Up at the top, I've got the Count of Monte Cristo. I don't know if I will get to that this year or not. That's a big one. And I just recently read the manga for it, so I don't know about that one. And then A Soul of Ash and Blood by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I've read the rest of the series, so I just need to read that one. But that's in Cass's point of view, so that's kind of why I put it off. Then I have A Game of Thrones and A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. And I don't know if I want to start those since he's not going to finish the series. And I don't like reading a series that isn't finished. But I kind of do want to read those, so maybe I'll read those. And I have Reign and Ruin by J.D. Evans, which I've heard lots of good things about. I don't think that's a finished series, so I don't know about it. And then I have The Great Gatsby, and then Dragon's Kiss by E.A. Winters, and I think that's a finished series, so maybe I'll start that one, but I just have the first one, so I don't know. If it's finished, I'll get the rest of them and maybe read that this year. And then next I have Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and I have not read that yet. I don't have Iron Flame yet. I was waiting to buy Iron Flame until after I read Fourth Wing to figure out if I liked it or not. But it's also not a finished series, so I'm kind of like meh about starting it too. Then I have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've heard lots of good things about that one, and I just haven't read it yet, so yeah. And then I have the last 2 in the Bridgerton series, On the Way to the Wedding and It's in His Kiss by Julia Quinn. I have read all the other ones, and I just haven't read them yet because they are still children, like in the show and in the books. So I don't know. I just have been putting them off because they could work as standalones. But yeah, so I've got those 2 to finish. And then I have the first 2 of the Crowns of Nyaxia series, The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. Now I read the Daughter of No World series. I forget what the actual series is called. But I read that one and I loved it. So I think I'm gonna like this one. I've heard a lot of good things about this one. And these are like basically, the Crowns of Nyaxia series is basically like a trilogy of duologies, if that makes sense. So these two books follow these characters, and then the next 2 books follow a different set of characters, and then the last 2 books follow a different set of characters. But they're all in the same universe, but they're basically 3 duologies in one series, if that makes sense. But so yeah, so I have the first 2. I got those two for Christmas. And then I have the Cruel Prince series. Now I already had the Cruel Prince, but I haven't read it yet. My husband picked it out in my Husband Picks My TBR video, but I didn't get to that one because it was a series. And so for Christmas, I asked for the rest of the series and I got them. So that is definitely on the list. And then I have Fate, Ink, and Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. And I've heard lots of good things about that one. I've also heard lots of not so good things. But I do think that is a series. I thought it was a standalone, but I think it is a series. Got so many series. Everything's a series, but nobody wants to finish. And then the last set that I have in my physical TBR is my Crescent City series. Again, it's not finished. So that's why I've been putting it off. So I don't know. We'll see. I forgot that I had a little bit over here. Down here, my parents found this whole series in a like a yard sale or something. I don't know what the series is called, but it's Bared to You, Reflected in You, Entwined with You, Captivated by You, and One with You by Sylvia Day. So I do have that to read too. So of my physical books that I have, I plan to read the Cruel Prince series, which is 4 books. I've got 2 of the Crowns of Nyaxia series books. From what I understand, it is a like trilogy of duologies. Like they're all in the same universe, but the first 2 books follow this couple, the second 2 books follow a different couple, and then the third 2 books follow a different couple. And from what I'm understanding, it is like different kingdoms in that world. So I don't know if you get references to the previous couples or like the next couples or anything. So I'm interested in that. That would be really cool. But I don't think it is done yet. So my plan is to read the first 2 since that's kind of its own duology, and then as the other 2 duologies come out, I'll finish those. Does that make sense? Like those 2 books and then those 2 books. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. I really hate starting a series and all the books not being out. I really wish ACOTAR was completely out. I really wish Crescent City was all the way out. I really wish Blood and Ash was completely out. Flesh and Fire. I just really hate unfinished series. Because by the time that the next books come out, I don't remember what happened last time. So then I gotta go reread a whole series again? No. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Ain't nobody got time for that. And there's so many other books that I wanna read. And if I'm rereading a book that like, I don't know. I wanna wait till entire series are out. But I do wanna read The Cosmere, which is like 20 something books. So even though Brandon Sanderson is still working on the Stormlight Archive and he's still writing books, there's so many books that I'm kind of safe to go ahead and start it, even though he's not finished. There's so many books, I'll be all right. It'll take me a while to get caught up with him. So I would like to read that. I would also like to read the Witcher series, which is 8 books. So yeah, and any other series that are completed, please let me know down below. Anything that you think I would enjoy. I like fantasy. I like fantasy with a little bit of romance, but I also do like romantasy. I mean, ACOTAR is one of my favorites. So if you have any recommendations for completed series that you would like me to read, maybe I can do a reading vlog on them, or I don't know. I appreciate any help with that. So that is my 2025 TBR. Again, if you guys have any recommendations for any books that you would like to see me read this year, please comment that down below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, God bless you. Happy trails. Bye.